Colin, can we have live stream, please? Oh, yeah, you just got it. All right, thank you. Welcome. To note that this is a working party, has no delegated authority and may only make recommendations to full council. Urgent actions may be taken under delegated authority given to the clerk and the chair. Item 2, apologies for absence.
Councillor Lucarini.
Okay. I've also got apologies from Councillor Mason, who's got family commitments that he wanted to, he did want to come tonight, but he's got family commitments. He's asked me to read out a statement really on item 8, application 1. So I should do so just before when we start that item. Okay. Any more apologies? No, from anyone? No. Item 3, declarations of pecuniary interest and request for dispensation. Anyone? Councillor McManus.
Sorry, can I just declare an interest on the item that you're going to discuss? You're going to read out his statement. Obviously, I'm a councillor on that ward and I do live there. All right. So just in case. Thank you.
Thank you. Minutes from the previous meeting, to approve the minutes of the meeting held on the 24th of May, 2022. No. Page 306. I don't know if we can get them up, can we? Thank you. Page 306. Thank you. 307. .308. We objected to 9 Recreation Road, I noted. Page 309. .310. Appendices. No. Thank you. May I have a proposer and a seconder so that I can sign these as a true record? Councillor Stitchcombe proposed, Councillor McManus second. All those in favour, please show. Thank you. Carried. Bear with me. I've done too many clicks and I've lost me. I've lost my agenda. There we go. Hopefully. No, it's the wrong agenda. Hopefully this is the one. Right. Item 5, matters arising from those minutes. Anyone? No? Okay, item 6, which is a notice of appeal to notice of appeal for application DC 21-1436 FUL, land at Rosebank, Burton End, has been received. The Town Council had no objection or comments to make on this application and submitted a neutral response. Is there any comments on that at all? No, no. Okay. Item 7, any members of the public? Colin, at all? No? Thank
No.
Yes, Vicky?
I've just had an email from the Strackens and the Fords who have sent their apologies, and an email about item 8, application 1. So I will forward that round to you.
Okay, thank you. Item 8, to consider planning applications to West Suffolk Council. Bear with me. I do apologise, it's just getting them up. Right, this is application 1, which is DC 20-0614 RM. Application for reserved matters pursuant to hybrid planning permission SE 09-1283 for infrastructure comprising of the internal estate roads, draining, POS, landscaping and allotments for land at Northwest Haverhill. Comment from 21 Girlings Close. Oh, that's me, sorry. Right, the next one, the next item I'm going to read Councillor Mason that he wanted to read. For your information, you might wish to share with the committee some residents and I are meeting highways for a site visit next week relating to Ansuckling Road and the impact Persimmon joining Ansuckling will have. S106 money will be discussed as also concerns relating to cyclists and pedestrians. In particular, students wishing to go to Samuel Ward and the hazard that they will face navigating this journey as a result of the Persimmon development. Cycle lanes stop when they reach Ansuckling, and there is no recognised crossing point for Ratting Road, except the one on Chalkstone Way, with pedestrians and cyclists won't use. This has been recognised as an issue by highways. In short, they are serious health and safety concerns about the wider impact this development is having beyond the red line of this application. And he said that he's going to watch the recording later. Okay, is there any comments on this at all? Vicky?
The Strackens and the Fords want me to read this out. So shall I read it out? I have forwarded it round.
Yes, please.
So we would appreciate if you could send our apologies for not attending the meeting because we are unable to attend as a result of family commitments, same as Chris and Michael Ford. A letter making us aware of this planning application only arrived on Saturday the 4th of June, and because of this short notice we have not had time to scrutinise the plans or make comments. I presume the councillors involved in planning have had very little time to scrutinise these most recent reserved matters too. The slow drip feed of alterations and changes that build layers of new detail are very difficult to keep pace with. We wonder if our councillors would prefer more time to look at this new application in more detail too. I believe that a Teams meeting is still being planned for us by Joe Mason to discuss the road infrastructure with Highways and Penny Mills on the 16th of June. We will look at the new application as soon as we can and put any comments and objections on the planning portal. Meanwhile, we would appreciate if these comments could be mentioned and minutes at the meeting tonight, if that's possible.
Okay. Right. First of all, can we have the letter from 21 Girlings Close, please, Vicky or Colin? I think it mentions about the school doesn't have a drop-off point or drop-off area. And it says here, as was promised at the first open day, and reiterated to her when she rang the planning officer. This is what she's wrote, or highlights of it. Can you go up a bit more, please? Okay, can we have the plans up then, please?
Which particular plans, Chair?
I think it'd be the ones with the roads and because it says internal state roads and draining and landscaping. Oh, and the allotments, of course, as well. Hopefully that's all on the same one. Sorry, I never wrote the actual one down. Normally I do.
I'll have to see if I can find a suitable one.
Has anyone got any idea of any particular one that they want to look at? No?
Perhaps the open space one. Pat, the open space one is the third one down on the list of documents.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll share that one.
Yeah. There is no dropping off point there, is there? Hasn't. And that has been mentioned by me quite a number of times and other people.
Chair.
Yeah.
I attended a meeting a while back with Suffolk Education, with Penny and also with Vicky, and we raised the question of the dropping off area, and the school advised that they don't put dropping off areas in schools because they're not wanting to encourage people to come by car. I think obviously we did flag up the difficulties of where people are dropping off on the way to work. It's not always realistic. So there's an expectation of a good linkage through to the other part of the community area, where potentially there might be some shops, etc., and there is car parking there, and that the dropping off would happen more safely in that area, and then the children would be walking immediately away from the car park on a safe path into the school. So they haven't ignored you, but they just have a different solution rather than a kind of finite dropping off zone for what is actually a very, very small school site. They're wanting people to encourage to drop off by car at all, to do it in the kind of this little shopping area.
That is not going to work. If that area is not close to the school, that is not going to work. The people will go to the closest point to that school, and also you will not have enough parking, or they will not have enough parking spaces. It'll be just chaotic. Whereas a normal drop off is drop off and go straight away. That they'll have to park up, walk to the school, and walk back to the car again, and that won't take a second like it does when you drop off. So I'm sorry, but I think the reason they're doing it for is because they don't want to pay out the money for the actual area for the road to go in. And that's my cynic thinking of it. It just won't work. And if that is not close to the school, then people are just going to use that estate, and it's going to be, and there's not places to park on that estate because they're so close together. I think they're going to create a lot of problems by doing that. Personally, that's my personal opinion. Okay, does anyone else want to comment at all? Dave Smith, Councillor Dave Smith, and then Councillor Burns.
I just wondered if anybody with any technical knowledge could explain to me how this bus gate works, because I can't make head or tail of it. Does anybody? All I can see is a few raised curbs and a raised carriageway, but I don't see any gates. Is there any rising bollards there or anything? Perhaps somebody could, if anybody knows, perhaps they can tell me.
Chair, Vicky did email Penny that question this afternoon, because the only thing we could see was a 25mm high curb, which we weren't entirely convinced could be the only deterrent for cars. So I assume from Vicky that you've not heard back.
No, not yet, no.
Okay, thank you. Councillor
So could we ask?
Oh, sorry, Councillor Smith, sorry.
Yeah, so could we perhaps ask for more information on that? I know Vicky's already said she's contacted them, but I wouldn't really want to sort of comment on this until we had the full workings of it.
Sorry, I missed that last bit.
It's very difficult to make a comment on it without the actual sort of full workings of how the thing operates.
Thank you. Councillor Burns?
Yeah, the one up in Exworth, which Persimmon are also doing, is actually a physical rising bollard. I don't know why they're even considering basically a raised platform. Apart from anything, having a raised platform is going to be not very nice for the bus passengers being jerked up and down, as it were. I think that's been wrongly designed. That's my personal view. And I did look at the drawing earlier on when I saw the word bus gate in the description, and I couldn't see a gate nor a bollard. So that's one thing. In terms of the school, I mean, I've still got this major problem, is that somebody somewhere has agreed with the developers that they're going to make this road that goes around the loop basically nothing to do with the local centre anymore. Previously, it was all based around the local centre. Now all it's doing is providing a way, and I'm not saying it's necessarily going to be a rat run, because there is traffic calming around there. But the fact you have to put traffic calming in was that it potentially is going to have quite high speed on it, particularly if people, as we all know, will be parking on the road, as we've seen on phase 1 and 1A, or phase 1A, in fact. My problem is, this is quite a big school, despite what Colin just said. It is quite a big school. But equally, we have the 3 schools down Chalkstone Way. I've asked now 3 times from the Unity Trust, and I will be going to Tim Coulson next, for their latest transport plans. None of them have responded to me. We know that Couples Road School has 7 times as many cars turning up as their transport plans state. We know Westfield is notoriously bad in the morning because you cannot drop people off. And it's not just a case of dropping people off. These are primary schools. These are people who stop their cars, get out their cars and take their kids into the school 5 or 10, 15 minutes later coming out. Parking on grass verges, parking on zigzags. There's no enforcement from CPE or anybody like that, or the police for that matter. It's not their problem though. And I seriously think that County Council education need to come into the 20th century. We're not talking about horse and carts here. We're talking about motor vehicles. Forget the 21st century. You know, as I said before, on when Couples was enlarged, their policy is that they don't do any transport plans for 6 months after the school is fully occupied. Well, that's crazy. What the hell are they living in cloud cuckoo land? So I seriously think, and it's not just the school and community centre, the chair is quite right. People are just going to park on residential roads nearby. The residents are going to get really frustrated having spent 300,000, 400,000, 500,000 pounds on their houses for people who probably don't even live on the estate. Remembering that, you know, we're talking about catchment areas now. This is not a catchment area. These kids are going to be coming from all over the place, Keddington, Hunden, or wherever else it might be. And I really think that they need to go back to the drawing board on this. And I said the fundamental thing is, why the hell did some planning officers somewhere, whether it's West Suffolk or whether it's Persimmon, have decided they're going to totally change the master plan to suit their own needs? And I really don't understand that. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that, Councillor Burns. Thank you. Right, is there any more? Anybody else? Councillor Dave-Smith?
I just think I don't think I keep going on about, there's not enough drop curves as far as I can see. There's some on junctions, but we really need drop curves to every, on every corner of every junction, to make it fully accessible to people with mobility problems. And yes, it seems a bit lacking in that respect.
Okay, right. Anyone else? No? Right, so where are we going to go for this then? Personally, I think we should object, but that's entirely up to the working party. We got any proposer for anything at all? Councillor Liz Smith?
Perhaps we could object on those very reasons that Councillor Smith has spoken about, and yourself, with regards to the school, with regards to the drop curbs, and the not having enough information about the bus gates. We can't comment on that. And what Councillor Burns said about the whole changing of the master plan and the change from the local centre to the to this part around the school. But I think the school problem is going to be a big problem, as you say. I mean, it would be nice if people did think more about things like walking buses. I don't know if you know the scheme where children are collected along the way and they walk as a group to the school. I've known that in the past when we've had special days and experiments of people doing that. But we have to try and change the mindset of the population. I don't think that's going to happen overnight. So, yeah, perhaps we could object on those grounds.
Thank you for that. You've got that, Vicky, yeah?
Can I just say that's not having the school drop-off point, not you want drop curbs on every corner and junction, as there's not enough, and we need more info on we're waiting for Penny to come back with the info on the bus gate before we can comment, and the change of the master plan and local centre.
Yeah. Councillor Brown?
Yeah, can we just add to that list that was brought up earlier around the crossing of Ratting Road? That's extremely important.
Good point.
Yeah, the children and cyclists to cross Ratting Road. That's extremely important.
Yeah.
So you need a crossing on Ratting Road.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, very good point. Councillor Mason said. Okay. Right. Can I have a seconder for that, please? I presume Councillor Liz-Smith, you're proposing that, yeah? Right, can I have a seconder, please? Councillor Stitchcombe, I saw first. All those in favour, please show. Thank you. Carried. The next application is DC 22046 RM, small a, reserved matters. Submission of details under outline planning permission, DC 191711 OUT, allowed at appeal, which is open brackets APP stroke F3545 stroke W stroke 20 stroke 325697 close bracket, for appearance, layout and scale in respect of the construction of and open space, small b, discharge of condition 17, sound insulation of permission, DC 191711 OUT. This is Taylor Wimpey land west of 3 Counties Way, Withersfield. Any comments on this one, please? No, the only comments I've got is email of amendments on, I don't know if you can get them up. I think it's the plan, to cut a long story short, I think it's planning layout, bottom right hand corner for the changes. I think there's changes there that they're pushing on this. Right, these are the amendments. Can you go down a bit more? Because I can't remember where I saw the. Right. Is there one planning layout, Colin? I think it's they mentioned about the bottom right hand. Oh no, it's the bottom right hand corner. Can you make that larger? The box with the mauve writing round. I think that's got the. I think this is what's been read out, but I think that's got the amendments. The bottom right hand corner of the writing, I meant, Colin, sorry. Yeah, I think we've just seen them what that says on that. Yeah. Okay, is there any? Yeah, Councillor Dave Smith. And then Councillor Burns.
I think it's disappointing again that I know that the housing associations like it this way, but the way all the affordable houses are lumped together, and in this instance, it looks like the affordable housing is being used as a buffer to the sound from the 1017 and also from the industrial area. You know, all the nicer houses seem to be in the centre of the site, and all the sort of affordable ones are on the outer edges. So it just doesn't seem like equal treatment.
Yeah, if you look at the plan, don't you? With that. Sorry,
Yeah.
I was coming in there.
That's okay. That's similar to what they've done previous, isn't it? All the affordable flats and that are all at the front. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. No, carry on.
No, I'm finished then. So.
I was just saying it's like say it's along the outer edges where the busy road is, and where any allowed works might be. That's all I'm saying. You know.
Good point, Councillor Burns.
Yeah, I was interested in the response from Taylor Wimpey to Withersfield Parish Council, particularly over the bus stops. They've actually said we need a crossing. I'm not certain that's overly necessary, but then Taylor Wimpey have come back and said, "Oh, we're going to invest £22,000 for a real-time information screens at the two bus stops on the A1307." Well, that's great, but it doesn't work in Suffolk because the one up at northwest and northeast Haverhill, Great Wolseley and Boyton, they're abandoning the RTI thing, even though it's in the S106, because they know they're not going to get into work. And you know, most people have an app these days anyway, which tells them where the buses are. So I think that 22 grand should be spent more wisely on something a bit more. And I noticed Withersfield is going to get some traffic calming in their own village by the looks of things. A bit strange because S106 is normally only S106 is normally only if the development causes problems that has to be mitigated elsewhere. Well, I can't imagine a traffic calming in Withersfield is going to be affected by this development. It's going to be the 1307, of course. And they've also mentioned quite correctly things like lorries going up Three Counties Way rather than to the research park, and the fact that Rumsey has still not removed all the Haverhill research signs, as he's been told to numerous times, but we know about him. I'm a little bit surprised that there's a few comments from local people, but I'm not certain exactly how recent they've been told about this. I mean, I know we've had briefings from Taylor Wimpey and all this sort of stuff, and they also mentioned about their designing for longevity, if you like. But I was not overly impressed with their electric vehicle charging point side of things again. They seem to have, I thought they were going to go really, say we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Well, on their latest plan, some houses have got them and other ones have got, what are they calling them? They're calling them freestanding electric vehicle charging pillar. But not all the houses. Some houses have got 7 kilowatt fast charges, And then obviously some have got pillars for, I think it's 27 or 35 kilowatt, can't remember what the figure is. I just think that they're trying to get away with it on the cheap again. You know, we all objected to this development in the first place because Rumsey did the dirty on us in terms of employment land, and we know what he's going to do up at the Carrow site as well at some point in the future, I suspect. And I really think that, I don't know if you've had a chance to look at these plans. I have, when I downloaded them yesterday, and I'm not overly impressed with them. I think it's another typical Taylor Wimpey site, a bit like the Chapel Went Road is it's crammed in and everything else. But hey ho, that's what they got the permission for. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? No. Right. What we going with this one? I'm going neutral. With comments, or what do you feel? How do you feel? Anyone? Right, it's neutral then. Okay, can I propose for neutral? I propose. Right, I propose neutral and second by Councillor Liz Smith. All those in favour, please show. Any against? No. Okay. Right.
Chair?
Yeah.
Is that just neutral on its own?
Yeah, it's just neutral. Yeah. Right. Application 4, which is DC 220790 VAR, variation of condition.
Chair?
Oh, have I read that?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Number 3 is
Application
08. Yeah, 0822.
Yeah, sorry. Application 5, DC 220851 HH, first floor side extension, 28 Helens Park.
Chair, sorry, we're on item 3, DC 220822, Cherry Gardens.
Oh yeah, sorry, I'm getting all mixed up because it's so tiny for my eyes, my old eyes. Right, application 3, not 5, sorry, application 3, which is DC 220822 FUL, industrial building to replace existing utility building industrial units. This is Mrs. J. Cooper, GMB Building Services, Cherry Gardens, Helens Bumpstead Road. Okay. Any comments on this? These are 6 units instead of 8 units that I proposed before. Neutral. Can I have a proposal for neutral, please? Councillor Davison. Can I have a seconder, please? Councillor McManus. All those in favour, please show. Thank you. Right, application 4, which is DC 220790 VAR, variations of condition 2 of DC 20559 VAR to enable use amended plans for the variation of condition brackets 1 of DC 162302 OUT open bracket AP 170007 REF close brackets to allow use of drawing number 915 171A, which shows the revised floor layout and elevations. Croft House, Croft Lane. Any comments at all? Councillor Dave Smith and then Councillor Burns.
Again, I'm going to show my ignorance here. I mean, on the application, it says does not wish to include the blind first floor windows, and does that mean they're fake windows? and they're just there for show. What does that actually mean? Because I think it looks a lot better with the fake windows on, in fake or not. But anyway, the other point is about changing the hard standing on the driveway to a water permeable bound resin, which sounds fine to me.
Yep. Okay, thank you. Councillor Burns?
I think that Councillor Smith just said it is. I'm not certain whether they're. I can't really see because this architect's drawings are, in my view, not fit for purpose. They don't even describe whether something's a bedroom or not. It's not the first one I've had time to criticise at this meeting or in development control. Never put dimensions on or anything like that. And I'm surprised that our planning authority accepts them as valid drawings. I didn't know whether this was something that had been put in to meet a requirement from the original application. I thought a blind window was a bit like a fenestration, that you put it there because you didn't want to have overlooking of something else. Now, are they saying they don't want it at all? Or are they saying, well, actually, we want a proper opening window? I couldn't see from their drawings what the hell, which window they were talking about, really. And unless anyone else has managed to find that, I looked through tried to look at them side by side yesterday, and I couldn't see them. But hey ho, I don't know whether anyone worked that.
Yeah, I can put it up on screen if you want to have a look at it.
Yes, please.
So on the original approved drawing, there are windows here, and they've been omitted.
They've been taken out, right? Okay. Yeah, the one on the left has got windows that are obscured, glazing. Councillor Liz Smith?
Yeah, I think it looks better with the windows than the other plan. I just had to look at it on my other computer here. It does look better with the windows above the door. Looks a bit strange without them, I think. And I wasn't sure the reason for taking those down. It didn't seem to say why they were doing that. Maybe mistaken. But,
do you want me to bring up the previous drawing?
Yes, please.
yeah.
So there's those windows.
Yeah, so I think it looks better with the windows.
Showing them as real windows there.
Can't quite understand why they're not having those now. I don't know if anyone else
Can
did.
you go up again, Colin? Yeah, those bedrooms do look small, don't they? And what are them? What are they at the back? What are they? Them places? Yeah, them two there. What are they? Are they dressing rooms or bedrooms or whatever you? That's what I say. There's nothing on there that says all that. Councillor Burns.
Yeah, I think the things at the back are bedrooms. As the side ones are bedrooms and the front ones are bedrooms. My big problem, and I know I see what the missing bit is because I was looking at the wrong way around on the drawings, is those two bedrooms at the front there are going to be very dark now because they've only got the light from those two side windows. And assuming they are bedrooms, of course. Never trust an architect, as someone always used to say to me. But I'm a bit confused about why you would take all that light out of the room and only have a little side window above the porch or whatever it is on the left and right hand side. And I'm not sure what they mean by blind window. Were those windows ever going to be there, or were they just, as I say, I don't know whether they were decoration. But to me, I thought they were genuine windows, like the drawings on, all the other Windows design on the side flanks and everything.
Well, they do look different to the other windows. They haven't got a little notch in. Yes, it going into the bedroom.
Windowsill, it's called.
Sorry, Councillor Sitchin?
It's
You
called
say?
a windowsill, isn't it? It doesn't have a windowsill projecting into the room.
Yeah.
I can guess that if that inner skin of the front so-called windows is in fact blockwork, and they are sort of masonry windows, a blind window constructed of masonry. I guess you've got a problem on the building reg side of maintaining the insulation value, unless you lose a bit of the dimension of the room that's not shown on this drawing. But I think someone might have decided it was too much trouble from a technical point of view and decided to do away with it. But I agree, it does make it look a bit naff.
Chair,
Right. Yeah.
just a thing.
Sorry.
As well as that,
Colin?
I'm just looking. Obviously, there aren't any dimensions on this drawing at all, but there's a shower cubicle.
Yeah.
And I know how big standard shower cubicles are, and there's toilets and there's a bath there, which looks extremely narrow compared to a shower cubicle. How on earth would you fit a bed into some of these rooms? I mean, that can't possibly be big enough for a bedroom, can it?
No, I can't believe that. I thought it was a dressing room or something. That's what made.
That's an ensuite, and that's a what?
Yeah. That's the only thing I can think of is dressing rooms. Yeah, you definitely can't fit a bed in there. And you'd expect a wardrobe in them as well. That is just unbelievable. I just can't believe that they put these plans in, really. We've got no measurements at all, have we? Is there any measurements down the bottom? Is there any? Oh yeah, there they are. But that don't correspond, them measurements, because that's tough. Councillor Smith?
Yeah, I mean, I should just quickly check,
3 meters,
Dave.
like 3 meters is not big enough.
Yeah, we were talking about the fact that I think this is just an amendment, isn't it? I'm assuming that they've already been approved on the basis of the sizes. But I would object and ask for more information relating to that. And as you say, the light in those rooms at the front, if there's no windows to that front bit, it's going to cut out a lot of light. And they, as you say, they don't look big enough either. So I would object on those bases. But I don't know if it was previously approved, the sizes of the rooms. This is just an amendment.
I think it was by the plan. It says here.
So I'm just wondering whether we can't really object on that basis, but we could object on wanting a bit more information about the windows. Yeah.
I must admit, I can't remember these coming through, but they might have done. I really can't remember them. And that's what we must have objected on, was the size of the rooms. And obviously it's gone to the planning officer, government one, and it got through somehow. Vicky? And then Councillor Burns?
It says on the drawing they're dummy windows, so they wouldn't have had light in anyway, would they?
No.
Just to point that out.
Yeah. I don't know why they've, as Councillor Sitcombe, if they've done away with windows, it must be to do with the planning as far as the warmth of the house is concerned. I don't know. It seems really strange to me. But there again, as what I'm saying, they've got permission on that. So I think our thing on the windows, I don't know if it's, but we obviously, because that's what we've got today as them windows is to, object on that. I don't know, perhaps we could say they should be proper windows there. Instead of false windows, or no windows at all, I should say now. Councillor Sitcombe?
I mean, I think the amount of light in the room is a building regs thing, isn't it? I don't think we need to necessarily go overboard about that. If they can pass it on building regs, it must be good enough. but we can object that we don't like it stylistically to lose windows that were in the original design. Thank you.
Yeah, on the looks basis. Yeah.
I'll propose that we object on the basis of appearance.
Okay. Right, can I have a seconder for that, please? Councillor Liz Smith, I saw first. All those in favour, please show. That's carried. Right, application 5, DC 220851 HH, first floor side extension, 28 Hellions Park Avenue. Councillor Davison?
Yeah, just going back to number 4 again, but I think we should say that we do not object to them changing over to the block paving.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Vicky, can you put that?
Sorry, I didn't hear that. What was it?
Councillor Davison?
I can't remember it now, but basically they want to change it from harsh standing to block paving, and we're clearly not objecting to that.
Yeah.
So just the window, not the block paving.
Correct.
Yeah.
Sorry, just to interrupt, it's not block paving, it's replacing block paving with a permeable surface.
Yeah, with bitumen, isn't it called?
Sorry, the other way around. Yeah.
Okay, right. Any comments on 28 Hellions Park Avenue? I've noticed that number 1, Hellions Park Avenue, have got a few objections. And they want clarification if it's 3-bedroom to 4-bedroom. I know it's a 7-person house it's being expanded to. I think they was complaining about car parking and what have you. But, oh, can we have that letter up from 1 Hellions Park Avenue, please, Colin? Okay, can we have the plans about the overall, about the existing site and location plan? I think she was sort of saying about it being nearer land. That looks fine to me. Councillor Dave Smith?
Yeah, when I was looking at this earlier, I mean, they do mention about the cars spinning out onto the off the property. The way they've put those parking spaces, you can't get the cars like that because apart from being a wall, which is supposed to take the wall down, but there's also the road name, the Hellion Park Gardens road sign, would block any cars coming in from that direction. In one of the pictures on Google Earth Street View, it shows 4 cars parked on there. Rather, yeah. But you move along and then they've disappeared, so it'll obviously take them different times. But the whole thing just seems very overbearing on the street scene, as it were. I mean, yeah, it just look overdevelopment.
Yeah, they moved it. You know, it's 3-bedroom to a 4-bedroom place, and I think originally it was 2-bedroom. And it's 7 people. You know, sleep 7 people room. So it's there's quite a lot of people in there. Or could be. Right. Well, can we have is there one where we could? Oh, maybe not. No, I don't think that'd help if we had another one. Right. Okay. Is there any comments at all, other than it's just been said? No. Okay. Where are we going from here? Any proposals? Councillor Dave Smith.
Well, I would object because it's overdevelopment of the site.
Okay. Is there a seconder for that? Councillor Liz Smith. Right, a second. All those in favour, please show. Four. Against? 1 against. That's carried. Thank you. That's objection, by the way, is that right? Vicky, yeah, Vicky?
Did you want to mention the way the cars were parking in the design as well, that was impossible?
Yes, please. Is that, oh, sorry, is that okay, Councillor Dave Smith, yeah? Okay. Right. Thank you. Item 6, first floor, DC 220869 HH. First floor side extension. This is 73 Arundine Road. Okay. This is makes it 4-bedroom. Oh, this is already a 4-bedroom place and an upstairs study. Where have I heard that before? Upstairs study. Cynic of me. Right. Okay. Are we going for this one? Neutral, are we? Yeah. Can I have a proposer for neutral then, please? Councillor Davison. Can I have a seconder for neutral? Councillor McManus. All those in favour, please show. That's carried. Thank you. Back to the agenda. Matters to report. Vicky? Street names, I presume.
Oh, street name. Sorry. Yeah. I circulated an email earlier about the street naming.
Any comments at all on the street names? Councillor Burns?
Only that I've also been asked as the ward member, and I fully approve this. This is World War II veterans, as we've already agreed.
Okay. Okay, Vicky, got that? Yeah. Any other comments at all? No.
So is that objecting or in favour of?
Right. Well, do we have a proposer and seconder for this? Vicky? Yeah.
I don't know. Tony was trying to say something.
Right, Councillor Brown?
Yeah, I'd like to propose support. Yeah.
4.
Yes.
All right, so you're agreeing that was it Freeman is okay?
That's it, yeah, it's a Second World War
yes.
casualties, so.
I didn't know that.
Sorry, yeah.
Okay, so we're happy with it, okay.
Can I have a seconder for that, please? I saw Councillor Davison first, the seconder. All those in favour, please show. Yeah, that's carried. Any other matters to report at all? Councillor Burns?
Sorry, Councillor Liz Smith had her hand up.
No, I'm chair. I'll
I know, but I'm ready to put it up, literally. only that we still haven't got anything obviously on the Vixen. Or the other one, the Fox Pub, which I am chasing on both of them. What's happening? The Vixen looks like it's come to a grinding halt at the moment. The Fox, apparently all the conditions have been approved, but then the developer seems to have gone quiet as well. And obviously we got the McDonald's thing, which is going to come up next time. I've just put a whole load of comments in on Braintree's IDOC system for the second time because they lost it the first time. And West Suffolk are very much interested in this application as well. I think they're getting a little bit annoyed that they haven't been consulted. And highways, Suffolk County Council were consulted, but the only people who've responded is Minerals and Waste, which is probably not a lot to do with highways on Bumstead Road. But anyway, so that'll come up next time anyway. So when you do get a chance, if you can have a look at the Braintree IDOC system, that'd be good. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I think they was looking at the wrong, because on the site there, that's got the waste is on there. Also includes the McDonald's as well. I think they got mixed up, highways. Right. Councillor Liz Smith.
Yeah, just to report, I attended the workshop today for the West Suffolk local plan, and they did suggest that if you've got any comments as a town council, to submit them as a whole, like for our own comments rather than individually. And the consultation goes on until the 27th of July. So although we've got a number of town councillors that are also district councillors on this working party, looking at the local plan, obviously David Roach is the chair of that. So I think, I think Haverhill's views have been quite, listened to. But I think as a town council, do we want to put something together to respond as a group, as a planning committee or working party?
Right, and do you feel Councillor Brown and then Councillor Burns?
Yeah, I think at least we should back what Councillor Roach, Councillor Smith and Councillor Burns, the work that they've done. At least we can do as a town council is, sort of give them our backing and say that, that fits in with what we as a town council wish to do. I mean, if that's what we, if that's the comments that we wish to make, but to be fair, I think they've done a really good job. I'd like to support them anyway.
Okay. Is anybody else? Councillor Burns?
Yeah, no, just to thank Liz Smith for the comments there regarding, I've forgotten about the local plan, because as Councillor Brown says, we worked hard to stop any more development in Haverhill other than what we already know about in 2031. I have made some comments in my own submissions earlier on about things, but of course there is another call for sites going out. So some of these entities may come back and try to put these sites back in. I know, for example, I believe Wisdom are looking at the whole of their site, including the allotments, rather than just part of it. I do have some concerns, and I've already told them about this, about Castle Manor having any element of residential in it. These schools are going to have to expand as we keep building, more and more houses. We can't put everything in Samuel Ward. Samuel Ward are not planning for those 2,500 extra pupils that are going to be around in their teenage years and their sixth form. They certainly don't see it when I last spoke to the headmaster. So we need to be careful about making sure, we don't put residential in by the back door just because somebody has said, oh, it could accommodate residential. There, at the moment it is a school site. We have got enough development in here. Obviously, the recommendation is not to have the big site south of the bypass, which was brilliant news as far as I was concerned. It's just the wrong place. It's the wrong, no infrastructure and everything else. But please do comment on it. It's a hell of a big document, I'm afraid. But the Haverhill one is relatively simple because there's nothing really to look at. Some of the other places, if you want to get involved with some of the others, you'll have some sleepless nights trying to look at some of those. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Councillor Smith?
I wonder if we could put it as an item on the next planning agenda after people have perhaps that hadn't had a look at it at the local plan at the moment, the proposals, for us to put together a response as a group in support of, as Tony said, in support of what the work that David and John and the other David have put in anyway. But, you know, we want to make some comments perhaps about the preferred sites, for example, that are in Haverhill, which is your Wisdom Factory, your Gertines area and others. So we might want to put some comments about those in there.
Could, Vicky, could we have a link to that particular Haverhill site on the local plan? And John, could we, Councillor Burns, could we have a repeat of what you and Councillor Dave Smith and who was the other person that was involved? Was it Councillor Roach?
He's chairing it.
Could we read the minutes or anything like that? You know, there's not. Is there any way we could sort of get note of what's been said?
You can't. No, the minutes of those meetings, they were all confidential meetings.
Right.
But everything's in those local plan documents, which maybe Councillor Liz Smith is about to say. So it's worthwhile just looking at the Haverhill bits and and the description. It doesn't go on too long, the Haverhill ones, because I say there's no extra sites other than what we already know about. Yeah, but we can praise what was said. I suspect Councillor Dave Smith. I would think just nod, probably. Yeah.
Councillor Smith.
There is when we registered for the workshop, there is a link that takes you to a virtual presentation anyway. So I think if I send that to Vicky and she can forward around, or that might be better. But it's just a link to what they've done as like a virtual presentation, like you were going into a room with a workshop with all the boards. And it's quite easy to follow, and it explains it all. And it's quite easy to get to the Haverhill bits. So I can send that to Vicky.
Thank you very much. Councillor Burns.
Completely different subject. I've just been advised that the Cambridge bus gates are enforced by ANPR cameras. And taxis are allowed through as well. So that's going back to your Northwest Haverhill, where we're talking about bus gates. But I personally think it'd be much better to have a physical device like they do in certain places. But mind you, they do get damaged, of course. So just a bit of info.
Okay, thank you for that. Okay, right, item 11, which is date of next meeting, which is the 28th of this month. And thank you very much, everyone. Number 12 was closure. Colin, could you start?